Blake Snell has gotten off to a rocky start to his Giants career. His first start was a short one. He went 3 innings against the Nats, striking out 5 and walking 2. He did give up 3 earned runs, but take it with a grain of salt because his FIP for that game was 1.92. But yesterday, Snell faced his former team in the Tampa Bay Rays, and it did not go so well. Snell got shelled for 7 earned runs in 4 innings, walking 2 and giving up 2 home runs to Ahmed Rosario and Rene Pinto. The Rays would go on to win 9-4, and so far for the season, Snell is rocking a double-digit ERA. Yes, he has struggled in his first few starts, but this is kind of expected since he didn't sign his contract until just about opening day. We'll probably see him find his form after a couple more starts, and I wouldn't really worry about him just yet. But when do we start worrying about the Mariners offense? As a team, they have an OPS of 590, which makes them 28th in all of baseball. They're barely above the Marlins and the White Sox, who are the worst teams in baseball. They've also been a bit underwhelming on the pitching side of things. Luis Castillo hasn't been great to start the year, but he was looking really good against the Cubs on Sunday. He had a quality start, going 6 innings, giving up 2 earned runs, striking out 9. He did give up a bomb to Michael Busch, who has looked great to start the year, but Seattle had a chance to come back in the 9th, and they sent out J-Rod to pinch run on first, and then he got picked off to end the game. He has already been struggling at the plate, and this is just a rough way to end the game on a loss, especially when he's been struggling so bad lately. Man, I feel for Mariners fans right now. I really hope they can turn it around. But speaking of struggling, James Paxton struggled to find the strike zone on Sunday in the rubber match against the Padres. Let's just go down his line real quick. He went 5 innings, giving up 3 hits and 3 earned runs, including a home run from Manny Machado, who was starting to swing the bat a little bit. He only struck out 1, but he walked 8 batters. 8! I'm just so surprised he didn't allow more runs than just those 3. He also had the chance to win the game as well. Max Muncy hit his 4th bomb of the year off Yu Darvish to give the Dodgers the lead, but then the Padres tied it all up, and in the 7th, Jurickson Profar hit a bases-clearing double, making it known that he is not irrelevant. If you know, you know. And the Padres would take the game and the series. The D-backs were also trying to take a series from the Cardinals, where Zach Gallen would absolutely shove. He went 6 innings to shutout ball, giving up only 4 hits and striking out 7, and that gives him a 1.64 ERA on the year. Early Cy Young candidate right there. The D-backs would go off in the 5th inning against Miles Michaelis. A young Jock Peterson would hit a double. Jake McCarthy would hit another double. Corbin Carroll gets in on the action as well with a 2-run single. D-backs would love for him to get his bat going. He's gotten off to a slow start. And the D-backs put up 5 in the 5th, and that would be the only scoring of the game. D-backs would win 5-0, and this gives the D-backs a 500 record. And I did not see this coming, but the Oakland Athletics are not that far from having a 500 record. They entered Sunday looking to take a series from the Washington Nationals at home, and they got off to a rocky start. Nationals would just be relentless from innings 3 to 6. They scored at least 1 run in every one of those innings to give them a 6-1 lead in the 6th. But then the A's went off to score 6 in the bottom of the 6th to give them a 1-run lead, and that was enough damage to make sure that they would end up winning. They would send out Mason Miller to close the game, and if you haven't heard of him yet, you may want to remember him because he is absolutely filthy. He struck out the side, and the A's improved their record to 7-9, which is just ahead of the Mariners and the Astros. I know it's super early, but I didn't think they'd be leading those two teams at any point in the year, no matter how early. But I'm not sure how long it's going to last because it looks like the Astros are starting to figure it out. They entered Sunday with a chance to take the series from the Rangers, and they got off to a hot start. Let me rephrase that. An immediate start. Altuve would hit a leadoff homer against Nathan Eovaldi, and he would hit another one in his next at-bat. Christian Javier has also been dealing to start the year. He looks way better than he was last year. He went 7 innings, striking out 5, only giving up 2 runs. Evan Carter did get the better of him in this at-bat, hitting his 2nd home run of the year, and Semien would make it a bit interesting in the 9th with a 3-run shot, but it was too little too late, and the Astros win the game and the series. But it's not too late for you to like the video if you like the content, and subscribe to see more videos like this. Trying to get better with these recap videos and would love to have you be a part of this channel's future. And speaking of the future, it doesn't look like the White Sox have a great future for the rest of 2024 as they got pummeled by the Reds. Michael Soroka did not look good as he gave up 5 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings, and he walked 6 batters. Oh, it's just tough to see. I really wanted to see Soroka have a good year after what he's dealt with coming back from his Achilles injury. I feel so bad for White Sox fans too. This lineup was already looking really thin, but the injuries to Moncada, Eloy Jimenez, and Luis Robert Jr. make it that much more difficult to watch. And the Reds just mashed this game. Graham Ashcraft also looked pretty good. He went 5 2/3 innings, striking out 8. His ERA is down to 4.15. Reds fans would love for him to be a stable part of their rotation moving forward. Reds would go on to win 11-4, and they are now 9-6, which is a record that the Guardians would not want to fall to. They were looking to avoid the sweep against the Yankees, but Aaron Judge hits a 3-run shot to give the Yankees an early lead. But J-Ram gets a couple of those runs right back with a bomb of his own. Jose Trevino would also hit another home run in the very next inning to increase the Yankees lead, and then Gabriel Arias would hit a homer in the 5th to cut the lead to 1. Josh Naylor would hit a game-tying 1-run single in that same inning to tie the game at 4. Quite this shootout, and it doesn't end there, as Estevan Florial would homer against his former club to put the Guards up 5-4, only to give that run right back to the Yankees with an RBI double from Anthony Volpe, and this game would go to extras. The Yankees would put up 2 in the top half of the 10th, but the Guardians would knock Caleb Ferguson around for a couple runs. Gleyber Torres would bobble a ground ball that would have stopped a run, and Andres Jimenez would walk walk this game off with a sac fly in the bottom of the 10th, avoiding a sweep from the Yankees. The other team in New York, the Mets, would try to have a different outcome in their game, but Cole Reagans gave them a very tough time. Across 6 innings, he didn't allow a run and struck out 8, but Jose Butto, I'm not even sure if I pronounced that right, did every bit as good and even better for the Mets. He went 6 innings of his own, striking out 9 and only allowing 2 hits. This was an incredible pitching duel, and late in the game, the Mets would be up by 2 in the 9th, but Vinny Pasquantino would try to fight back for the Royals with a solo shot against Edwin Diaz, but Edwin Diaz would stop the scoring there, and the Mets would get the dub. But what a couple great pitching performances. And Bailey Ober had a great pitching performance of his own against the Tigers as the Twins tried to get the series sweep. He went 6 innings, giving up 3 hits and striking out 3, but the bullpen would not be able to hold the 3-0 lead that the Twins gave him. Javi Baez, of all people, connected for his first bomb of the season. Mark Canha would get a 2-run double, and then Spencer Torkelson would come through with a run-scoring single to get their first lead of the game, where it would stay that way. Tigers would win 4-3. It's a nice little late-inning comeback for the Tigers. The Braves also had a late-inning comeback of their own against the Marlins. It was looking a bit grim for the Braves, down 7-6 in the 9th, down to the last strike, and Marcell Ozuna hits a 3-run shot to give them a 9-7 lead and win the game for the Braves. Charlie Morton and Jesus Luzardo both got roughed up a bit. Luzardo gave up 5 runs, including Adam Duvall's first homer. Nick Gordon hit a bomb as well to give the Marlins a lead earlier in the game. He's having a sneaky good season. And that bomb by Ozuna was his 7th, which leads the league. But it wouldn't lead for long, as Tyler O'Neill would hit a bomb in the first inning against the Angels that would tie Ozuna to lead the league. Tristan Casas would also go yard for his 4th of the year. Red Sox would go on to win off a strong start by Brian Bayo, striking out 8 over 5 1/3. And Anthony Rendon also had 2 knocks for the 2nd game in a row. Don't let Tony Two Bags get hot. Maybe leading him off was a good idea after all. And speaking of hot, Justin Turner is scorching hot for the Blue Jays right now. He had a 3-for-4 game with 3 RBI and is now hitting .386 with an OPS approaching 1100. This is something the Jays are in dire need of. They desperately need to start hitting up and down this lineup. Vlad, Springer, and Bichette all have an OPS under 700 so far, but Berrios understood the assignment and he went 7 innings of shutout ball with 7 Ks and only allowing 2 hits. His ERA for the season is now 1.05. I know it's early and an ERA right around 1 isn't really sustainable for a starting pitcher, but Cy Young watch right here. He's been amazing. The Jays would win 5-0 and take the series from the Rockies. And speaking of Cy Young watch, Zach Wheeler was pitching for the Phillies, but unlike Berrios, it did not go as well. Wheeler did strike out 10 and it looked like it was going pretty well for him, but the wheels would come undone in the 6th inning and Jack Sawinski would hit a grand slam to put the Pirates up 6-2. And then in the 9th, Andrew McCutchen would go yard for his 300th career home run. That is just so good to see. Kutch seems like a great dude, and it was so great to see Kutch do that in the Pirates uniform. One of the best to put on that uniform. And that would cap off the Pirates win in Philly, and they would split this 4-game series. Look out for Pittsburgh though. They are 11-5 to start the year, and it's not like they haven't been playing good teams. Philly's a good ball club. And it's surprising that they are just behind the Milwaukee Brewers, who look really good and are trying to get the sweep in Baltimore. And this shot from William Contreras certainly helps. He has been incredible to start the year, hitting .375 with an OPS closing in on 1100. But the Orioles would answer right back and continue scoring in the first couple innings with a Cedric Mullins homer and a Ryan O'Hearn home run. The Brewers would have the lead again in the 7th, but the Orioles just didn't like being behind for long in this game. They put up 2 in the 7th, and Colton Cowser would cap off the scoring with a solo shot in the 8th. Kimbrel would get the save, and Baltimore avoids the sweep. And that's pretty much what happened on Sunday. Make sure to like the video if you made it this far and enjoy the content, and subscribe for more. Appreciate you all watching. Peace.